Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at solving one-step equations that have rational number operations and how to use our calculator tool with that. So our first equation, we have x divided by 4 is equal to 1 3/10. So when we solve equations, we know we solve them using inverse operations. So x divided by 4, well, the inverse operation of that would be to multiply both sides by 4. So I get that x will be equal to 1.3 times 4. And so we'll want to take our calculator and enter 1.3 times 4. So I'm going to use Desmos as an example. So 1.3 times 4, and I get my solution of 5 2/10. So x will equal 5 2/10 right here. My second equation is 1 5/10, or 1.5x is equal to 6. So again, x is being multiplied by 1.5. So the inverse operation of that would be to divide both sides by 1.5. So I get that x is equal to 6 divided by 1.5, which I can go put that in the calculator. So I'm going to go 6 divided by 1.5. Notice that when I put in division, it showed it as a fraction. Fraction is another way to show division for us. So 6 divided by 1.5 gives us positive 4. And now number 3. And I know when we look at number 3, sometimes it might feel daunting with fractions, but again, our calculator tool helps us with this. X plus 2 2/3 is equal to 4 1/6. We're going to look at this like any other equation, where I know that I would need to create 0 pairs. The 0 pair of a positive 2 2/3 would be a negative 2 2/3. So I would subtract 2 2/3 from both sides. So that would cancel out, and I get that x is equal to whatever 4 1/6 minus 2 2/3 is. And when we put this in the calculator, we want to be careful because mixed numbers can be a little tricky. And so when I go to show you in Desmos, my first number is 4 1/6. So I'm going to actually put that in parentheses and say, hey, that is 4 plus 1/6. Because remember, the 4 represents the whole number, and the 1/6 represents the part. So we're taking 4 1/6, and then we are subtracting, again, another mixed number with 2 wholes and 2/3. And so when we put that in the calculator, we get 1 5/10, or 1 1/2. So make sure that when we're putting in mixed numbers in our calculator, we're showing the whole number plus the fractional part. So 4 1/6 minus 2 2/3 gives us 1 5/10, or 1 1/2. This last one, number 4, we have x plus 3 15/100 is equal to 5 1/10. So again, very similar to the question we just did. Just because there's fractions or decimals, our process remains the same, and we want to create 0 pairs. So the opposite of a positive 3 15/100 would be a negative 3 15/100. So I will put negative 3 15/100 on both sides of the equation. And when I simplify that, that tells me that x will be equal to whatever 5 1/10 minus 3 15/100 is. So I'm going to go to my calculator. And I'm going to say 5 and 1/10 minus 3 and 15 hundredths. And I get 1 and 95 hundredths as my solution. So x is equal to 1 and 95 hundredths.